The Wishing Stone. 10-year-old Danny was exploring the beach near his family's vacation home when he stumbled upon something strange. Half buried in the sand was a smooth, glowing stone that shimmered in the fading sunlight. It wasn't like anything he'd ever seen. Drawn to it, he picked it up, marveling at how warm and comforting it felt in his hand. As Danny held the stone, a sudden thought popped into his mind. What if it could grant wishes? He smiled to himself, amused by the childish idea. But just for fun, he whispered, "I wish I had a candy bar." Almost instantly, there was a soft pop, and right in front of him on the sand was a chocolate bar. Danny's eyes widened in disbelief. He picked it up, tearing the wrapper off and taking a bite. It was real. The stone worked. His excitement bubbled over as he ran back to the vacation house, gripping the stone tightly. Over the next few days, Danny tested its power. He wished for toys, video games, even a cool new bike. Every time, the stone delivered, fulfilling his desires with ease. It seemed perfect, too perfect. But after a few days, Danny started to notice something was off. The toys he wished for would break almost immediately, the bike's wheels twisted beyond repair, and even the candy tasted strange. Each wish had a flaw, something wrong that made it feel twisted. One night, while lying in bed, Danny stared at the stone, feeling conflicted. It granted his wishes, sure, but it never turned out quite right. Still, the temptation was too strong to ignore. His greatest desire hovered in his mind, something he had wanted for as long as he could remember, for his family to stay together forever. His parents had been arguing a lot lately, and Danny was terrified they might split up. Clutching the stone tightly in his small hands, he whispered, "I wish my family would never leave me." The stone flared brightly in response, its glow pulsating for a moment before dimming back to its usual shimmer. Danny smiled, feeling a wave of relief wash over him. But the next morning, things began to change. At breakfast, his dad seemed distant, barely acknowledging anyone at the table. His mother, usually cheerful and full of energy, sat silently, staring at her plate, her face pale. Danny tried talking to them, but they wouldn't respond, like they didn't even hear him. His little sister, Lucy, who had always been full of laughter, simply sat in her chair, her eyes vacant. Panic started to rise in his chest. He grabbed his mom's hand, shaking her gently. "Mom, what's wrong? Say something." She blinked once slowly, but didn't move. His dad and Lucy sat still, unmoving, as if they were fading away before his eyes. By afternoon, they were completely silent, barely shadows of themselves. Danny tried everything to get their attention, but they just sat there, their bodies present, but their minds gone. It was as if they were disappearing, piece by piece, fading into nothingness. Terrified, Danny ran to his room, clutching the stone tightly. "Please, I wish everything would go back to normal," he begged, his voice shaking. The stone glowed once more. He rushed back downstairs, but his family was still there, sitting eerily still at the kitchen table. Danny's heart pounded in his chest as the realization dawned on him. The stone wasn't granting wishes, it was twisting them. His wish for his family to stay with him forever had trapped them in a state of limbo, neither alive nor dead, and now they were slipping away, piece by piece. Desperate, Danny tried wish after wish, each one growing more frantic than the last. "I wish for them to be okay. I wish they could talk to me again. I wish this never happened." But with every wish, the stone's glow dimmed, and his family remained unchanged, fading further and further into nothingness. Their once vibrant faces were now pale, their eyes dull, their presence in the world slowly unraveling. Danny's sobs filled the house as he realized the horrible truth. He was trapped. The stone had twisted his greatest desire, and now he was left alone in a house full of silent, empty versions of the people he loved most. And worst of all, the stone wouldn't let him wish them back. Day after day, Danny sat in that house, clutching the stone, hoping for some way out. But the stone offered no escape. Each time he tried to make a wish, the glow would flicker, weaker and weaker, until one day it went dark completely, leaving Danny with nothing but silence. Now Danny is alone, trapped with the cursed stone that had once seemed so magical. His family is gone, lost to the twisted power of his own wish, and he knows deep down that there's no bringing them back. He had wished for them to never leave him, and now they never will. Not in life, not in death.